Welcome back to the 3-Minute Devar. Thank you for tuning in yet again. Michelangelo, a quote I came across recently, said, "The sculpture is already complete within the marble block before I start my work. It is already there. I just have to chisel away the superfluous material." Beautiful way Michelangelo described the way he would sculpture his sculptures. What relevance does this have to this week's portion, you may ask? Well, this week's portion begins by talking about the menorah, the 7-branched candelabra in the temple which the high priest would light every single day. It was one of the high priest's special roles which he had in the temple, and amongst other things, one of his roles was to light this menorah every single day. We are told that every single one of the things in the temple, such as the menorah, the candelabra as just mentioned, such as the 2 altars which were there as well, such as the Aron, the Ark of the Covenant, they all represented something else. And that the menorah, we are told, represented human knowledge, spirituality, spiritual knowledge. Not the knowledge that we have in our brains, but the knowledge we have in our souls, and the soul's yearning to connect to God and spirituality. Deep knowledge. One of the other things we are told about the menorah is the fact that it had to be built out of solid gold from one chunk of gold. It couldn't be built in separate pieces and then molded together, but it had to be built from one solid chunk of gold, chiseled and hammered away until you had this beautiful, ornate menorah. Given that the menorah represents spiritual knowledge, and given the menorah represents spiritual understanding, what's the significance of the fact that it had to be built the way God instructed for it to be built? Well, I think perhaps what the Torah is teaching is that it's reminding us that the spiritual knowledge, that the spiritual connection, spirituality, is already there within that solid block of our humanness. We are born with an ability, an innate ability to connect to God, to understand God, to appreciate God and relate to spirituality. The journey of life is not to find out how to connect to God, but the journey of life is to find out how to bypass those things which break the connection. The menorah is symbolic of our very own souls. Our very own souls are pure and already there and already spiritual. It's just that we need to chip away at those things which cover over our souls and block us from seeing its true greatness. Michelangelo was expressing this very idea when talking about his sculptures, and the menorah is expressing this very idea to us as human beings. We already have it. We are already spiritual. We already know how to connect. It's just a matter of chiseling away at those things which block that from taking place, and we will find that beautiful connection to God, to spirituality, and to wisdom. Wishing you a Shabbat Shalom.